Hey everyone, in this video I wanted to do something slightly different and tell you something that's been on my mind recently and that I've personally gone through, and it's related to video games and the dangers thereof. And just this year, the official World Health Organization, the Public Health Division of the United Nations, has classified extended gaming as a mental illness, as a disorder. And here we have it, posted this year in January. What is gaming disorder? It's a pattern of gaming behavior, digital or video gaming, characterized by impaired control over gaming, increasing priority given to gaming over other activities, to the extent that gaming takes precedence over other interests and daily activities, and continuation or escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences. And I fully agree with the World Health Organization's decision here to classify this as a disorder, because I've personally struggled with video games and have been addicted to them quite severely. As some of you might know from watching my testimony video, there were times when I was consumed by video games and played them from morning till evening, every day, without doing anything else, without talking to my friends, without talking to my family really, just being completely addicted to playing them. So I can personally relate to this, and that's why I wanted to make this video, informing you of the dangers of playing video games. And just a quick Google search will tell you that there have been numerous deaths as the result of extended periods of gaming, uninterrupted periods of gaming. And this story, I remember it because I too was playing this game, Diablo 3, when it first came out in 2012. And you could say that I was addicted to it as well. But this teen died after playing this game for 40 hours straight in an internet cafe in Taiwan. And here you have the story. He was 18 years old, and the poor guy neglected to eat and drink and to get some rest, and just basically continually played for 40 hours straight before he collapsed and died. And here it says here, it's believed that he died due to a blood clot formed in his system due to sitting for such a long period of time. And then we have another story of another man dying in Taiwan after 3 days on an online gaming binge. And this man died from cardiac arrest, so from heart failure. And it's just sad, you know. It's unnecessary. And I'll link all these stories below so you can check them out yourself. And here's a story from Russia of a teenager playing this computer game, Defense of the Ancients, or Dota, for 22 days straight after having broken his leg. And like the last guy, he died of a blood clot due to extended time not moving and remaining in one position. And then we have a father dying during a 24-hour video game marathon. And then we have another story of a South Korean dying after playing StarCraft for a long period of time. And this game, StarCraft, I was addicted to for a long time, so I can relate. Yeah, and all these stories are just sad. And granted that video games might not have been the direct cause of the deaths here, but they certainly contributed to them. And then in South Korea especially, there has been an epidemic, one might say, of young people being addicted to video games and the internet and everything that's found therein, to the point where the government enacted a law called the Shutdown Law or the Cinderella Law, restricting children under the age of 16 in South Korea from playing online video games between the times of midnight and 6 a.m. And this law was, this restriction was lessened in 2015 after a public outrage. But it just goes to show that, that the government is concerned about this new phenomenon of young people being addicted to games. And then we have a story of Vice covering the South Korean rehab clinic that treats gaming addicts. In a country where 14% of teens are addicted to electronic media, an emerging rehab industry is finding new ways to reintroduce people to the real world. So it's gotten so bad that there are rehab clinics for video game addicts now in South Korea. And I grant you the possibility that all these news sources like HuffPost and Vice and CNN might very well be biased against video games. That's certainly a possibility. However, it doesn't change the facts of the story. It doesn't change the evidence, that people have really died from not moving around enough due to being addicted to video games. There's certainly a correlation to video games to be found there, in my opinion. And like I said, I can personally relate to this. So that's all I wanted to make you aware of in this video. The dangers of playing video games. They can even lead to death. So be careful, especially to you parents out there. If you have children who are starting to get into the age of playing on their consoles or on their mobile devices or their laptops, I would keep an eye on what they're doing and on how much they are playing these games. Like this story of the Russian teen dying after 22 days of playing in his room. This could have been prevented if his parents had kept a better eye on him. So I'm not saying that all video games are bad or that you can't ever play a video game. Obviously you can, and they might be quite good for relaxation, but everything should be done in moderation. Keep that in mind. And if you see your child getting into the habit of playing video games constantly, like as soon as they get home from school they have to go onto the computer and play video games. If you see that habit developing, then I would be slightly concerned and talk to them and try to find them a different hobby, because I have personally suffered from this to the point of my social life being impaired. I neglected everything over playing video games. That's all. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. God bless. Bye bye.